Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Oh, my turn to share my screen, I guess.
Thank you.
Oh, who's joined you, Rob? Do we have another moderator there?
Yeah. The lovely Tracy wanted to see how Claudio did, because we do have a complaint, Claudio. Like, so the complaint is it's your second language. Your brain works so fast. You speak so fast. You know so much. You're smart. You're good looking.
You're funny.
You're funny.
You deliver beautifully.
You give great hugs. I mean, come on.
I try my best, is what I can say. But thank you.
That was amazing.
So yes, absolutely fantastic session. Thank you so much, Claudio. And what a session to kick off EightKB 2024 as well, diving straight into the demos, melting everyone's heads. And we're going to keep it up. I'm posting up the links to you here, the online resources. So GitHub, YouTube, web, Twitter, email, all that good jazz. What I do want to point out is please do leave feedback. If you take the QR code there or the link there, it'll take you to our website that'll have all the session links to leave feedback for each one of the sessions. As I said right at the start, please leave it constructive, something for the sequel to build on. And of course, there's a link there for the overall event. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like, because we always want to keep improving and making this event as good as it possibly can be. But I'll leave that up for a few minutes now, but we'll be moving on to our next session in around 12 minutes. So how are we doing, everyone? We all good?
Yeah.
My brain hurts. I didn't know I had to do maths.
I had my fingers out, ran out.
Let's see if we've gone.
And I guess in this call, it probably is maths, isn't it? There's only two people who would be math. Oh no, only one math.
I'm really confused about whether I want a math or maths now because I can't remember which one's which.
What Rob's not telling you was that he was also having to answer his wife's stupid questions in the middle of that with, why is it 80-40? Who decided these things? Which probably wasn't helpful.
It was all perfectly explained.
I'm just pleased that Trace was on in it. That pleases me.
Oh dear.
I need a cup of tea.
So Claudio, was that did this all come about because of something that you just imagined when you were sleeping, or was it a client-based problem?
Yes, I think was a client. Actually, that asked something to Alexander Arvidsson, and he came back like, "Oh, the client just did this action, and he cannot see the space being reclaimed." So after dropping a column, and yes, so internally we have like a show and tell thing, and I did a fast-paced, quick session about why that happened, because I dumped the page and I show here that things will not be written and so on. And then people say, well, why you don't submit that to 8KB? And I say, well, because then I need to do also for like adding columns or something like that. And so I have a little bit more content, but yeah, sure, let's do it. And then I was digging on the add columns and reminder about the max record size and all that stuff, and try to break things in the end. So to come up with these details about enterprise or not enterprise, and when the things can go wrong. And why, right? So we can take more informed decisions when doing some actions.
I really liked the comparison between enterprise and standard, because I always think of that difference of like big features that are missing or big things that are not there, rather than like there are differences for internal stuff too, right? Between the versions that I just forget to think about even. So that was super cool.
I mean, I don't know if you ever seen any system where you will be adding a column and giving this error, but for sure you have seen systems with 200 columns or something like that on one table.
I can't possibly comment.
Yeah, so so the odds to get this problem are real in the end. So it's not that far from reality.
The other thing people were really impressed with was your comment at the top of your scripts at each page. The throw, hey, don't just run everything.
So I had to decide for a error number, right, to do that. And I don't know if you saw that the error number, because could not be less than 50,000 or something, I had to do the 8KB times 10 just to be something. So I found appropriate for this example will be just 81,920.
I noticed. It was something that I learned to do in PowerShell from a PowerShell person, and I just wondered if you'd got it from PowerShell, or was it something you'd got from a SQL? The idea of putting it at the top of the script.
He might have some PowerShell experience. Just saying.
Just a tiny bit. First community person to add a command to the DBA tools.
Okay, we have feedback coming in, and unsurprisingly, Claudio, it's all incredibly positive. So we'll leave those open for a day or so, and then we'll get those feedback forms out to all the speakers. Up next, we have Jess Chapman talking about Azure SQL Database Business Continuity. She's fashionably late, which isn't doing anything for my blood pressure. But yes, everyone, we have 6 minutes. So please go get a drink, get a cup of tea, coffee, whatever your tip of choice, and we will be back in a minute. We're going to hang out here just chatting. Please continue. I had to jump in then, but yes, keep going. I'm going to see if I can ping.
We'll carry on, dancing and singing and telling jokes whilst you panic and get in touch with Jess.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I keep getting nervous every time that you say on the schedule that Jess is up next, and I'm like, "What?
Right.
No, it's just Jess with one S."
Can you not hear the difference?
No, every time I'm like, "Oh,
Jess and Jess." I mean,
yeah. I heard it that time.
Good. That's all right. That's good.
There you go, Andrew.
And
Good.
there we go.
I was going to say the doorbell is rung.
The doorbell is rung. And don't forget, folks, if you have questions, we have the Q&A in Zoom, and we also have the Slack. If you are on the YouTubes, then please ask the questions in the Slack. There's a lot of fun and games and chat going on there, except when Claudio is melting everybody's brains. Then the chat went a bit quiet. But
And by the way, that was supposed to be a 400 level session. So if anybody disagrees with that, let us know in Slack.
Right. Definitely need to upgrade that one.
Numbering things is art, like naming things is art. So
It's true.
Now, we typically find that all speakers coming here always underestimate the level of their session. But yeah, I'd agree. That was not a 400 level session.
Someone in the Slack said PhD level. I would agree.
Hello.
yeah, now that
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
I was watching some of the stuff on Twitter and I was like, well, that's a tough act to follow. So I'm glad it's a completely different topic. It looked great. Like tons of great feedback out there. So awesome way to kick off the day.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. We melted our minds, but then we got some coffee and water and stuff. We're ready to go again.
How are you today, Jess? All good?
I'm great. Am I making last minute changes to my deck based on questions that I got at work this week? Yes. Yes, I am.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Perfect.
As I said before, I've actually been sitting next to a speaker who, whilst we were driving to the venue, was sitting there actually writing away, making changes to his session and demos. I don't know how people do it. I'd be having kittens at that point.
Oh, me too.
You do regardless. You do.
Yeah, so why not?
I've seen you before a session.
That's very true. All right, thanks everyone. I'll tell you what, I'll stop sharing. So whenever you're ready, you can grab the screen.
Can we have more warning before you do that? Because suddenly Andrew is like this big.
Oh, right, yeah, sure. Sorry. Hello, people.
That's worse.
Scared.
Okay.
You have a lot of things behind you, Anthony.
You're on mute.
Oh, yeah.
First person to do that today. Yeah.
It wasn't me. Yay.
All right, Jess, if you want to grab the screen, we'll give it 2 minutes, but we'll let everyone come back. But we'll do a quick check, make everything looks okay.
Jess with one S or Jess with two S's?
I said the same thing.
Someone
Jess was
picked this and it wasn't
presenting.
us. I'll test. I thought about that. I was like, every time they say Jess, we're both going to go.
Yeah. Well, I was saying before you joined that I was worried earlier on. Andrew was going through the schedule and he's like, oh, Claudia's up with this. And then Jess is doing this. And I was like, what? Oh, nothing. Nobody panic.
Okay, hold on. I always forget there's an extra click in Zoom, but you can see my slides right now.
Yep. Looks good.
We can,
Looks
yep.
good.
And you can see my portal screen.
And indeed.
Yes.
Okay,
Might want to make the portal screen a little bit bigger.
even bigger. Okay,
Just-
I'll zoom in
just please.
again. Okay,
Let me-
better.
Yeah, much better.
Okay,
Thank you.
I know. Again, another thing that I had this week was someone saying, can you see my screen? And I'm like, no. Okay, I'll stop sharing for the moment.
I'm going to jump off and head back to Slack. So anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in there or use the Q&A in Zoom and we will make sure that Jess with some number of S's will get them correctly.
So just Jess, read them to Jess.
Yes.
That's how this is
And then
going.
Jess
Okay,
will-
great.
And then Jess will respond.
Perfect.
We've
It's
got
like you were
this.
awesome. What could go wrong here? Have you got coffee
Okay,
ready?
so it's pretty much 22. So Jess, if you want to reshare your screen, sorry. And you can,
Yes.
I'll introduce you and you'll be good to go.
Okay.